Did you know that human beings are genetically wired for empathy? Our brains have something called mirror neurons that allow us to virtually feel what someone else is feeling. If you see your friend bump her head, then you are likely to react almost as if it had happened to you. If people are naturally empathetic, then why aren't most organizations, which are just collections of people, super empathetic? It turns out that organizations inhibit natural empathy in many ways. The first is individual context. People view the world through their own perspectives, so your natural empathy may not match the reaction of a customer who is quite different than you. For instance, a wealthy middle-aged marketing executive in New York City has a very different lens on the world than does an 18-year-old from a poor, rural community. Also, employees know a lot more about their company's products, processes, terminology, and organizational structure. So experiences that make sense to employees can often seem very complicated to customers. The second inhibitor is human bias. Companies often design experiences as if their customers were perfectly rational robots, but human beings aren't like that. While people sometimes use rational thinking, which relies on logic and reason to make decisions, we more frequently use intuitive thinking, which relies on mental shortcuts and cognitive bias to make decisions. For instance, people have something called a default bias, where they tend to stick with whatever setting is already in place. Groupthink is the next inhibitor. It turns out that people who are in close quarters, like a work team, tend to conform to a consistent point of view. Since companies often use different metrics for different groups, employees are encouraged to develop a very myopic view of their responsibilities, easily losing sight of customers. The next inhibitor is corporate culture. Employees tend to conform to their environment. When leaders set expectations for a certain type of behavior, employees will try to meet those expectations, even if doing so hurts customers. If a CEO sets an unsustainable goal for the number of products sold to customers, then the organization will do what it can to make that happen, even if they know it may not be good for customers. The final inhibitor is emotional illiteracy. Leaders and companies rarely discuss customer emotions. They often view the topic as being too soft or too squishy. The lack of dialogue about emotion keeps organizations from fully understanding the needs, wants, and desires of their customers. Now that you understand these inhibitors, you can look for opportunities to minimize their impact. If being empathetic and customer-centric matters to your organization, then why leave it to chance? Contact Temkin Group, the customer experience experts, by emailing info@temkingroup.com or visit our website at temkingroup.com.